Yo, it's Gio. Welcome back to my channel and stream sex tapes. You've probably seen the title, and yeah, Stan Twitter picks my TBR. And if you don't know Stan Twitter, you're probably living under a rock. So Stan Twitter is basically fan slash stalker, so it's Stan. They're one of the most vicious, one of the most supportive, one of the most cutest and soft and really energetic people you'll ever meet. And they're known for this fan cam edits that they make. So today, I'm gonna go undercover and create a Stan account for 3 people, and 3 types of Stans will choose my TBR. And by the way, guys, the accounts that I'll be creating, I'm a fan of their work. I'm actually wearing one of the artist's merch right now. It's Fletcher. Okay? So I'm not using this artist's name for cloud, even though I don't have any cloud. So the artists that I'll be creating a fan cam edits of are Kira Kosarin, Fletcher, and will this be a Stan Twitter without a K-pop? So Rose from Blackpink. I chose Rose because she's gonna have her solo soon, and she's my bias. Okay, so I've already created the account, and it's called Peppa Stans because Peppa Pig is queen. So why would you even ask that? Actually, that Twitter account was created 2 years ago when I thought I was gonna make my own digital agency. So my plan for this is make the whole layout for Kira for the first 5 days, and then make Fletcher's layout for the next days, have a poll, and then for Rose. Here are my fan cams for Kira. And here is for Fletcher. Future Geo, insert Rose's fan cam here. By the way, can we talk about how good that fan cam is? So yeah, if you want to view the fan cam edits that I made, I'll put some links below so you can check them out and retweet them and like them and follow Peppa Stans. So right now, I've already started some interactions with Kira Stans, and I've already created a poll, but it kind of flopped. So I've held a poll for Camp Slaughter or Mexican Gothic. Only 3 people voted, and 1 was me. And I've already tagged the stands below the poll, so they have to vote, but it did flopped. Shout out to you, Aiden, for voting and for following me back. You the best, man. He responded Camp Slaughter. I also received another vote for Camp Slaughter, so it's not Aiden. I don't think so. And yeah, 1 is me for Camp Slaughter. So for Kira stands, we're gonna lock this in as Camp Slaughter, okay? I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I've started Camp Slaughter now. Would you believe this? I haven't planned this at all. But in Camp Slaughter, there's a freaking character that is named Fletcher. Like, what? That legit gave me goosebumps right now. By the way, do you like my hair? Because I don't. My brother cut it for me, and he clearly showed how he doesn't love me. Look at that. What? Hello. So, I just want to give you an update. I just finished Camp Slaughter and it was freaking good. I read it and listened to the Us soundtrack You know the ba-dum dum ba-dum dum when the killings happened and the soundtrack matched the scenes that were in the book. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So, just want to update you on the poll that I did on the new layout, which is the Fletcher's layout. So, I made the Fletcher stands choose between No One Gets Out Alive and The Resurrectionist, which is one of the most messed up books that someone could read. If that wins, I might prepare my headspace for that. So, just want to update you right now. I received 3 votes, okay? And disclaimer, none of them is me. So, the Fletcher stands are kind of up there, but not really. So, I tagged 6 accounts and only 3 responded. So, just waiting for another 3. This still up for 17 hours. And just waiting for the results before I read the next book. But I'm pretty confident that No One Gets Out Alive would win. I also wanted to update you guys on the views that I'm getting with the FANCAM edits. So for Kira's FANCAM, currently have 72 views, which is not bad. Most of the views are from me because I was so proud of that FANCAM edit that took me literally 10 hours to finish that edit. So kind of proud of that. I'm proud of the Fletcher FANCAM edit too. And right now it has 163 views. Kind of famous. But then again, the poll only has 3 votes. I kind of understood why Kira's FANCAM didn't get a lot of views because she's a smaller artist and, if I may say so, underrated. So please check out her music. Stream First Love Never Lasts. Fletcher's kind of big. She signed on a label, whereas Kira's independent. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about more on Camp Slaughter by Sergio Gomez. It's your typical slasher book. So there's a bunch of college friends who's renting this secluded cabin in Pennsylvania. And then, what can you expect? A cannibal serial killer is killing them one by one. So, just a really fun slasher book. But the ending was kind of questionable for me. The book was overall really fun. I like the characters. Again, one of the characters is named Fletcher, which is so good. Although Fletcher is a guy, whereas the Fletcher that I'm standing is hashtag gay rights. So yeah, just want to update you on Camp Slaughter. And I probably start on No One Gets Out Alive tonight. So hopefully that would win the poll. And if it gets tied, then I'll probably vote No One Gets Out Alive myself. And yeah, this is just an update on this video. Kind of want to do a spoiler review on Camp Slaughter. I think I didn't describe the book so well in my last update. And yes, I'm filming in front of my fridge. So Camp Slaughter, we follow this college friends who goes into this secluded cabin in Pennsylvania because they're having this one final party before they go to college, or they're already in college. With them also is one of the brother of the college dude. Oh no, this book has a lot of names. So, where was I? Oh yes, in this book, we follow the point of view of the serial killer. And the only trigger warnings I have with this book is violence. For some reason, this book, this serial killer book, this slasher book doesn't have rape. You could write a slasher book without raping women? It's freaking possible, okay? So future writers, future directors could write a freaking slasher, a killer, without sexualizing women. Okay? We're getting there. We're getting there. We're finally progressing. Looking at you off season, I rated this 5 stars. Easy. So here is my problem with this book, and this is a spoiler, by the way. So if you've read this book, continue. If you haven't read this book and you don't want to be spoiled, skip at this time. Okay, so spoiler 3, 2, 1. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but the only thing that I don't like is the ending. The author left it as the book might have a sequel at some point, and I hate that. If you're gonna write a serial killer book, end it. Freaking end it. Either the killer lives, or the killer dies, or the character lives, or the character dies. Like, choose. Choose, dude. Overall, the book was really good, really fun, and so fast paced. According to Goodreads, this has only 290 pages, which is. This is just an overall fun read. Bunch of college kids getting killed. And the deaths, oh my gosh. People ask me. No, people don't ask me. But let's just say if people ask you,
why do you like slasher movies? Why do you read slasher books? Why do you read serial killer books?
not true crime though.
Why do you read those books, those movies? Why do you watch them? Why do you enjoy them?
Because the deaths are so epic and so amazing. That's the fun in this serial killer books and serial killer movies. If an author or a director could write a freaking epic death scenes aside from a boring just I freaking stab you, I'm dead, a gun to the head, my head explodes. Aside from those scenes, if a writer could get creative with death scenes, give him a pat in the back, okay? And Sergio Gomez freaking did that. I was gonna say Sergio Gomez, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce it in Spanish. I just like Sergio Gomez. So I'm gonna say Sergio Gomez. Me trying to act like a Latino. So the next book that I read for this video is No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville. And this author wrote The Ritual, which is on Netflix, which I haven't read. But based on what I've seen on Netflix and what I've read here, I kind of see the similarities. So No One Gets Out Alive is about Stephanie, and she's kind of broke. She's kind of making ends meet, and she just got this apartment who's located in the secluded part of, I believe, England. The address is 82 Edgware, according to the book, right? Which is one of the most secluded part of England. She's living in this apartment, right? And for some reason, every night she hears crying in the fireplaces. She hears her next door neighbor crying. She hears the neighbor across of her muttering in Russian. And for some reason, every night she could feel that someone is sitting at her bed. And the landlords are nasty, creepy. She confronts the landlords that why haven't I seen people here? According to the landlords, this is an all girls apartment, buildings only. And she confronts them like, why haven't I seen any tenants here? But somehow I hear voices in the room. And the landlords just mind your own business, Stephanie. And for some reason, as much as the rent is really low and she could afford the rent, for some reason, her landlords are wearing expensive clothes, newly bought clothes. Why is that? My review is it's freaking scary It's freaking creepy. It's freaking atmospheric. So I would describe this book as a roller coaster ride. It gets high, then low, then high, then low, then high, then low, then high, then low, then low. Because the first chapter alone of this book, right? It scared the crap out of me. The first chapter alone hooked me, and I didn't realize this, but this is over 600 pages, which is pretty long. I took 1 star off because some parts got really dragged, and there's a lot of dream sequences, which y'all know if you've seen my tier ranking video. I hate dream sequences. What's the point of dream sequences, right? If you're not gonna. No! What's the freaking point of dream sequences? I rated this 4 stars because the book is good and it's creepy. The writing may be a bit tedious at times, might be hard to understand, but there are some parts of the book where just freaking flies through, and it's so gripping. The scenes are gripping, but there are a lot of scenes that are just tedious, that are just hard to get through, not because of the scenes, but the overly descriptive words. Trust me, you don't want to get spoiled, because I went into this book expecting a haunted house story. It's more than that. It's more than freaking that, dude. So, trust me, if you want to read this book, don't watch the spoilers. Spoiler review in 3, 2, 1. So, turns out the landlords are human trafficking girls. When I read that, I was like, this is some I spit on your grave type shoot. I don't want to freaking curse. This is some I spit on your grave type of book. I thought I was gonna get ghosts in the apartment, but turns out it's more than that. I wanted Stephanie to fight for her life and do some I spit on your grave type of shoot, like plucking eyelids, plucking eyeballs, castrating this landlords, which she did on Knacker. Out of the 2 people, I kind of fell for Knacker's story than the other one. Fergal. Yeah, Fergal was just a creep, and based on the descriptions alone, the smell of him not taking a bath, and what I didn't like about this book is the Black Maggie. We didn't get a full story on the Black Maggie, or maybe I wasn't just paying attention at that point. Once Stephanie got out of there, once she was Amber, it got freaking dragged, and we didn't fully get the history on Black Maggie, which was supposed to be one of the creepiest creatures or monsters on the book, but we didn't get that. Spoiler ends. Yeah, this book also tackles about gaslighting, and it's so freaking twisted how this antagonists antagonize Stephanie. I'm out of words. Okay. Comparison to The Ritual. So on The Ritual, there are a lot of hallucination scenes, a lot of dream sequences, which is sprinkled throughout this book, and I guess the movie The Ritual is closely adapted to the book. And yeah, that's the comparison I had. Once I realized that Adam Neville wrote The Ritual, I was like, I can tell. Based on the overly descriptive words, based on the dream sequences and the ending scene, it be the same author. It be the same freaking author. So yeah, this is an update on what the Fletcher stands voted. So Fletcher, good book. Okay. So I also wanted to give you an update on the third stand, which is Rose from Blackpink. I made a poll on my Stan Twitter account, and I made them choose between the preserve or the preserve. I don't know how to pronounce that. The preserve or recursion by Blake Crouch. This time I wanted it to have a theme on the books. So the themes are science, fiction thrillers, and I was kind of disappointed with the Rose stands. Okay, we need to talk Blake's. Okay, I was kind of expecting you to pull through with the votes, but only two people voted. At least it was a unanimous decision. I freaking tagged 9 people, 9 stands, Rose stands. Where y'all at? Are you guys sleeping? Need to freaking stream Rose solo. Yeah, I tagged 9 people, but only 2 voted. Bless your guys' heart for those people who voted. So yeah, the pre-serve won, and I've started on the pre-serve, and I'm 22% of the pre-serve, and it's kind of hard to get into because of the world building. I kind of forgot how to read fiction books, fantasy fiction or science fiction books, because in these types of genres, there's obviously a world building on these books, and you have to kind of visualize everything on your mind about what's going on world, in this world that they live in. So yeah, that's my update. So I'm gonna do a last update if I finish the pre-serve. So yeah, these are the updates. Hello. I just want to give you an update on the pre-serve. I finally finished it for more than a week, and it's a freaking short book that says a lot about this story. I freaking had high hopes on this because Stephen King blurbed this freaking book. Also, by the way, I got 2 pimples. Don't mind her, okay? So yeah, Stephen King blurbed this book, and I thought this is gonna be groundbreaking. This is gonna be one of my best reads for this year, but nah. So in the preserve, we follow a literal preserve of, I think, land where humans are being dumped there because the human population has been decreased. The human population is a minority now, and the majority of the population that is living on Earth are robots, AIs. So yeah, our main character we follow, Chief Jesse Lawton, and he's the chief of police on this preserve, right? And then on one boring day, because usually the police doesn't have any incident, like major incidents in the area, because the human population doesn't have a will to live now, because the majority of the population are robots. Okay, so yeah, on one boring day, Chief Lawton gets called because a human has been murdered, and on top of that, series of robots have also been murdered by this virus, this software virus that kills the robots. So yeah, he has to team up with his ex-partner, which is a robot. Their name is Kerr. And yeah, we follow them, the two of them, investigating the murders, trying to solve the murder, and that's it. That's a freaking book. I hate detective books. I hate police books. I find them really boring. So let's start with the main character. I hate him because he's always angry with his subordinates, especially the junior police that is on that station. He's always angry with him for some reason. He is always sleep deprived. He doesn't have time for his wife, for his daughter, Erica. So yeah, I hate the main character. The partner though, the robot, Kerr, really liked him. So this also has social commentary on race, on racism, if that makes sense. Not in the sense of race as in black, Asian, but race between humans and robots. They talk about that a lot. There are also slurs for robots. Kinda inventive. I like that the author inserted that. And yeah, we just follow this town basically because people doesn't have any will to live. They always get drunk because what's the point of populating, right, when the majority of things that inhabit the earth are robots. Also, they freaking need to solve this case fast because the robots are threatening to have a martial law on that preserve, and that's the only land where humans could live without robots, basically. And there's also the talk about populating in this world, right? In this world, Chief Lawton, his wife, is the head of this organization where people could mate basically and maintain the human race. So they could mate if there's a connection, and yeah, so basically the goal of Justice's wife is to repopulate the human race. I rated this 2 stars. It was kind of slow at first. And no, it's freaking slow. But yeah, at the end there were some banter between the two partners. There were touching scenes at the end. For some reason, I liked the ending more than the beginning of the book. This is labeled as a science fiction mystery thriller, by the way. Pick this up if you like that type of book. And now I want to get into spoilers. So we found out that the dead guy is a hacker. He's a software engineer, and basically he built the virus that kills the robots. And so we found out that the main culprit are two. How do I freaking say it? Two beings. Let's just say that 2 beings, right? So one is a human, and one is a robot, which is also the chief coast guard of that land. Mind blowing, right? So the human being, he is the sister of the hacker that was killed, and the robot, he just wants to rule the preserve. I forgot to say that the sister did it because she wants to capitalize on the antivirus that her brother made. So yes. So yeah, that's the spoiler review. And what I really like about this book is, yeah, the social commentary on race. So there are certain words that is considered slurs, like for example, if you're a human, it is offensive if a robot calls you orgos or meatbag, and if you're a robot, it is offensive to call someone metal face, metal body, stuff like that. And also in this world, we have cyborgs where, for example, you got into an accident, you could replace your leg with an artificial leg, so that makes you a cyborg. The robot also made a good point about race. So Kerr, the robot, he had a discussion with his partner Jesse Lawton, right? And he says the overall population of Earth are robots. Yet for some reason, you you guys still rule us because the president of the area is still human beings. Then Lawton had a debate and said, no offense, but we made you. We humans made the robot. And Kerr said that, yeah, I understand. He's on his side, but it's kind of unfair because we're more than you basically, but yet we feel like you guys are still ruling over us. So yeah, that scene, I give the author some credit to that. That scene, kind of like it. Jesse also had a quarter life crisis. Like, what's the point of me solving this? Me preventing the robots from inhabiting this preserve for my daughter if we're still gonna die, right? Those points that are discussed in this book, A plus, A plus. However, the plot, freaking slow. The characters, kinda meh, kinda meh. Yeah, that is the pre-serve. So yeah, I think this is the ending of Stan Twitter Picks My TBR. Let me know if you want a part 2 to this. I think I could do a part 2 to this. Hopefully more stands would respond now. Check out the fan cam edits that I made. I'm so proud of them. Check them out below. What else? This will also, I think, serve as my February wrap up because I've read a total of 3 books in a span of a month. Professional booktuber right here. Well, I kinda did read a 600-page book, so give me a pass, okay? Subscribe if you like what you see. I talk about horror and thriller books here, also art. I kinda dabble into art a little bit, so I have a lot of ideas planned for this channel. I think this is it. Bye.